Hi YouTube, this is Stephanie, and today I'm bringing you Fave Friday. Fave Friday is a weekly thing that I'm going to be doing where I'm going to give a topic and I'm going to give you my 5 favorites. So this week I'm going to be giving you my 5 favorite YA contemporaries. So let's just get to it. My favorite YA contemporary is Tell Me 3 Things by Julie Buxbaum. This was my favorite book that I read in 2016. It got me through a really bad reading slump last year around this time. Well, it was in April, but it was right before my wedding, and I just was in the worst slump because I was so busy with planning a wedding and all the last minute stuff and whatnot. And I read an arc of this, and it was phenomenal. I loved it so much. I've been itching to reread it ever since, but I've been pushing it to the side because I have so many other books to read, but I really just, I want to reread this all the time. What I love about this is that it's an epistolary book, which means that it's in not just a narrative format, but also in like emails and instant messages. It's one of my favorite formats to read. And my friend Katrina also met the author, and she was kind enough to send me a signed copy. And I'm super excited to have a signed copy of this because it was my favorite book of 2016 and probably will continue to be one of my favorite books of all time. So if you have not read this book yet, please do so. It is so good, so cute, and it's just, look at the cover. It's got waffles on it. Who doesn't love waffles? And in the shape of hearts. Just read it, please. Number 2, The Replacement Crush by Lisa Brown Roberts. This was such a cute read. Like, I loved it. It's about this girl, Vivian, who is a book blogger, and her mom is an author, and she runs her own bookshop as well. So it's very bookish inside the book, which I love. Like, I think there needs to be more books like that out there. What I loved about this was the main love interest. His name is Dallas, and he is a big nerd, but a super hot nerd. There needs to be more nerds as love interests because they're the best. I married a nerd. Granted, he's not a book nerd, he's just a nerd who loves science and math and all that stuff, but nerds are the best. Like, seriously, they're the best. It's a really cute read. I got through it really fast, and I've also been actually wanting to reread this book as well. So if you haven't read it, go ahead and check it out. Third book on my list is Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch, and I read this at the end of last year, and it actually made the top 10 books that I read last year, and it was so cute. It's also written in an epistolary format because it deals with the main character. What's her name though? Lena. It deals with Lena receiving a journal from her mother who recently died, and she just goes through it, and it's actually about when her mom found out that she was pregnant with her, and spending her time in, sorry, that was my dog, spending her time in Italy and meeting her dad for the first time and everything, and it was an emotional read for me, and I think for other people it would be too. But it was so cute, and I loved it, and you got to travel to Italy within the book, and it was just super cute, and a really good book. So, if you haven't checked this one out, you might want to too. Book number 4 was actually one of the books that I read this year, and actually not just this year, but this past month. And that is When It's Real by Aaron Watt. I read the first 2 books in their Royal series, which was Paper Princess and Broken Prince, I think is the second one's title. I really loved that. It's not really YA. I would say that's more upper YA or new adult, because it's pretty erotic at times. But I loved that, and so when I found out that they were publishing a new one, I actually pre-ordered this one and read it the day I got it, which I think was a day or 2 after publication. So I read it like the 1st or 2nd of June, and I loved it. Again, it's in an epistolary format, which with Twitter posts and text messages. I see a theme in my favorite YA contemporaries, and it deals with being in an epistolary format. So, I just realized that. Anyways, this is actually about a girl who gets paid to date a rock star or a pop star or whatever, because he's trying to better his image, and he's trying to work with this one producer that keeps telling him no because he has a bad image. She gets paid to be in this relationship, and lo and behold, they end up falling for each other, and it ends up being an actual relationship. And then things happen and whatnot. It was a really cute read, a really fast read, and it did get me out of this long slump that I've been in since basically like September of last year. Highly recommend it. Go ahead and read it. And book number 5 on this list is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. This is the really pretty collector's edition, and it's got a cute coffee mug on it, and it's pink, and it's got fan art on the inside covers. This I read a couple years ago, and again, it's an epistolary format because it's not only narrative, but it's also deals with the main character, Kath, her fan fiction that she writes. And I really loved it. It was really cute. It's a rather long book, but I got through it really fast. But yeah, I really loved it, and I haven't read any Rainbow Rowell since this, but I have, I think, I have Landline down there, and I've been wanting to read more of her stuff because of Fangirl. So, yeah, these are my 5 favorite YA contemporaries. And, yeah, so I will link down all the book links to Goodreads and whatnot for you guys to check these out. And in the comments, let me know what your 5 favorite YA contemporaries are, and if you've read any of these, if you liked any of these, if you agree with my opinions. But yeah, let me know in the comments, and I'll talk to you later.